Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're still at Nile TV International and we're still on the live coverage and following up for the running process for the election of the House of Representatives 2025 in Egypt, as the Egyptian voters began casting their ballots in the 2025 House of Representatives elections on Monday across the first phase governorates, and polling stations in 14 governorates were open since 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. and we still, of course, updating the whole process with all the logistics and the security measurements from the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Interior and the police deployment everywhere, and of course to secure the whole process, and also all the preparations from the National Authority for elections to ensure smooth and security and easy running for the whole process. And to talk more about the run out and the participation for the eligible voters, in particular the women and young people or the youth, we are delighted to be joined here in the studio with our prominent guest, Dr. Amira Sebek, Strategic Management and Leadership Expert. Dr. Amira, great pleasure having you with us.
Amira Sebek. Amira.
Dr. Amira, great pleasure having you with us.
My honor and pleasure.
Yeah, when we talk about the women and the participation of the women, as it's more than a half of the society, actually, more than a half. I'm not prejudicing when I say this. So, when we talk about in particular, the participation of the Egyptian women since the beginning of the history, since the revolution of 1919 and the revolution of the 25th of Jan 2011, until now, the woman is actually playing a pivotal role and really is considered as a role model for participation in the elections. How you weigh this?
So, talking about the percentage of women and men, let me tell you the last statistics, the last studies. Women are not more than 50. Women are now exactly 48.4%, and men are 48.6%, and men are 51.4%. These are the last statistics. So we can say yes, they are almost equally. We can say that the society is divided between men and women, and I mean it is divided, because still we are saying men and women, men and women. So what we are seeking now is to have real diversity, real equality, and real inclusion. We want them to not to be divided. We want them to integrate each other. We want them to complement each other. Going back to 1919, I always call this as the moment or the year of a transformation in the Egyptian women rule. It was a movement that gave women a push, and
it was a turning point or breakthrough.
It was a
really
transformation, and thanks to Safia Zaghloul and Huda Sha'rawi, who were very keen to urge women to go into the political life. They were urging them to say their voice and to voice themselves, and they were establishing associations.
It was
and they
astonishing
were
at that time.
They were unique. They were really unique. So they were starting to give lectures to women and having associations and tell women their rights, and it was like an awakening call for women in 1919. So this call started, and women at that time, they caught the opportunity, they seized the opportunity, and they started to show how strong they are. Moving to the year of the revolution in Tahrir Square, women were highly seen, very visible in the Tahrir Square. They were nursing wounded people, they were organizing demonstrations, they were showing directions to people. There were the journalists, there were people who are taking care of the kids. And although of all the challenges they met in the Tahrir Square, they showed that, yes, we are capable and we are having a big role in our political life. And since then, they started to feel, yes, we are having an impact in our political life. So this revolution in 2012 was not the end of the role of women. It was the thing that ignited their motivation once more to say, no, we want our right to have more political place, we have our right to have more political involvement, and not to just to be symbolic in the political life, but to be pillars in making decisions as well.
Exactly, and as you mentioned, of course, talking first of all about the the keenness of the Egyptian woman to real participate and contribute to the, for building and for shaping the future, for not only for her, but for her family, for the next coming generations. I mean, that comes and starts out of the family. I mean, the woman, she's responsible for a family. She's urging the whole members of the family to participate as well. So we're not talking about one woman, she's participating. No, we're talking about the whole society and how this really contributes at the end to a high level of turnout.
Actually, women now have a very big role to play as moms and as teachers, as educators for their kids, especially that we have a heritage of movies and TV shows that only showing women as this kind mom who's taking care of her family and as not as public figures. So now, yes, we are having a challenge that women have to raise their girls that they are equal, they have to voice themselves, they have to be very well educated, they have to be very well cultured. Women should show their daughters how women can play an enormous role in the community. They could show them movies for like unique, like people like Tehani Gibeli. They have to show them Huda Sha'arawi, Safiya Zaghloul, all the feminine figures. They can take them as role models. So moms should talk all the time with their kids about how you can be different, how you can be self-respected, how you can be challenging.
How you can be change maker. I mean,
change maker, and to risk and not to be worried, because you are not less than age. But on the contrary, you are capable more than anyone else. You have wisdom, you have the tolerance and the persistence to show yourself. So definitely women and the society, we need a bit of media support to show again the figure of women as they are really, as contributors, as leaders, as decision makers. I think this will help for the coming generation as well.
Yeah, referring to the golden era that we are witnessing 10 years ago, special for the women and empowerment of women under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and also in referring to the Constitution, what are supposed to be the rights and the duties of the women according to the Constitution?
Okay, now women, by the way, the first year that women started to be in the Parliament was 1957. But since then, it was not a very strong representation for women. It was, we can say, a humble representation. Then in 2019, there was an amendment for Constitution 2014, and it started to have measures that women should have like 25% of the quota. And now, by the way, we have in the House of Representatives, the quota is 27.7, which is higher than 25. The measures to have the women quota not less than 25%, by the way, this is the first round that it will be strictly implemented. So I'm sure that after this parliament elections, we can see a bigger and a wider role for women, and we can see how they can make a change according to the new constitution and regulations that are taking place now.
Your point of view, how can the women, I mean, as a candidate or the one member of the House of Representatives afterwards contribute by changing or by amending some of the decisions of the House of Representatives?
By the way, I can see the more involvement of women in the Parliament, the much more progress that can take place. For one reason, women by nature are much more empathic than men. So if we have problems in the rural areas, men are not that good enough to get real data from there, because men, they cannot speak themselves well. So if we have women representing them in the Parliament, women can go to, especially women in the rural areas, to know their problems, to know their pain points, to get actual data that we can make decisions on. So now, when we get...
Because, I mean, they are deeply involved in...
Because they are more empathic. They can put themselves in the shoes of these women, and they can feel the pain. They can see, women can let them enter and see the real life, not men. So they will get actual data, real data. So when we make decisions, it will be data-driven decisions. It will be more close to our reality, as we say. Women also can be a very good bridge between these rural communities and the state, because women have their diplomatic, their wise way how to voice these people and how to put a plan to help them. Women are much better than men in that area, as we said, because they can feel it more, they can go deeper in their places, they can have, women in rural areas especially, can feel more comfortable speaking with women like them. So I think the biggest area of Egypt that will get a lot of benefit from the involvement of women in the parliament are the rural areas.
Yeah.
We hope to have lots of changes in this area.
Mentioning here and talking about the great achievements of the Egyptian diplomacy recently, especially in the 2025, and after approaching the ceasefire agreement upon the peace summit in Sharm el-Sheikh, and also ending with the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. When we talk about such achievements and how you believe your point of view, the new formation of the House of Representatives, how it should be different according to the rapid changing strategic or the geostrategic changes worldwide?
Okay, we have to admit a bit of thing. Definitely we have taken a big milestone in the movement of women and its role, but still women are playing the role of executors more than decision makers. So I think from the coming era, the government should put measures that women should be in places to be decision makers, not just executors. If women have this chance, now if we are talking about the government, women are very well seen in diplomacy, very well seen, they are very visible. In the government, 25 of the ministries now in Egypt are run by women. So we can see big Maya Morsi, we can see lots, I don't want lots, Hala Saeed, lots of women who prove that when they work and plan and develop, women are great in development projects. Women are great in education sector. Women are great in health sector. All these
women
sectors
are great in leading, really leading and managing.
Because they are more flexible, they are more empathic, they are more resilient. Still, they have the feeling that they are minority, and minorities always fight to show that we are capable. So women want to say, don't misunderestimate us, don't misutilize us. We can do and we can give, and we can see us in the public life and institutions. Women are having lots of administrative and execution places, and they are showing themselves. Let's go to the government and diplomacy. They are seen and they are very well representing themselves. If we go for the life of media, I think now women can show themselves much more than the men. So yes, so we proved ourselves. It's just we need to be to take more part, deeper part in decision making than becoming just implementers and executors.
Yeah. Returning back to the diplomacy, because here, I mean, a certain point concerning, in general, about the new members of the House of Representatives. I mean, how they could, I mean, build on the great achievements of the Egyptian diplomacy for the next coming years.
Okay, definitely we still need support from the government. Thanks to the government and all what they have done during the past years, but we need a little bit more support. For example, for women to be more, taking place more in the parliament and to go for elections, they need financial support. Because one of the challenges that really face women is that they don't have this financial independency that they can run. Even if men by nature, because of heritage, because of his work, they always have more financial independence. They have more financial resources than women. So they can run and they can take action. Women are still taking steps in a humble way. The society norms and their domestic needs, and so how to build on this? We need the support of the society, we need the support of men. We want the government to know, yes, women can work quality-wise as men or even more, but still women need some flexibility so as not to have shortage in her domestic needs. So we need the balance in the life of women, and this can come from the support of the government as well.
Maybe you mentioned some of the points that I mean now in my next question, and I would like to talk about the challenges that the women still have in participating in the political and the working field.
The first challenge, as I said, is the lack of financial independence, because you know that women now, the percentage of women working now is between 15 and 18% only from the labor market. 15 to 18%. So the pool of women of financial independence is not that big. So men can have men have the capability to run for elections more than women. The second thing, women are not, they don't have good access to networks like men. Men, they can go and socialize, and they have the time, and they have someone at home supporting them. So they have the time, and they can go and build networks that can help them. Women don't have the financial dependence, they don't have the networks. The second thing is our social norms. And why are you doing this? You were born to be a mom. Why do you want to go? This is not fitting you. Why don't you can just stay and enjoy your time as a mom and as a lady? Social norms is another challenge. Another challenge is the lack of women in the labor market. So as we said, they are financially dependent on others. The social media still showing ladies as a second person in the society, not as a prominent one. Second category.
So, unfortunately, we're just to stick to here, and we'll come back to you. But short break, ladies and gentlemen, and come back.